So hello everybody, it is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yul Brenner, and we were having our podcast earlier talking about the unfortunate situation of Sean P. Diddy Combs. Now, when I say unfortunate, that has a whole host of meanings, so don't nobody get all mad, okay? But anyway, that's not even why we're here. Of course, we could talk about that toward the end of the show if y'all like. But nevertheless, the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always try to do better. I'd like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are family, and sometimes we share the link. All I ask is that if I share the link and your profile looks like this, please show me this. And then you can go back to that. If you do not feel comfortable, all I ask is if I've never seen you on here before, please show me your face. Just know that no one else can see you, not even Donovan, until I bring you up to the big screen. Also, in the comment section and on the panel, I ask that we are as respectful as possible because it's not that we disagree, it's how we disagree. So today we are going to be tackling the topic of Kamala Harris finally answers the questions of reparations during the National Association of Black Journalists conversation that she finally showed up there and had. As you guys know, she was supposed to be there. I think it was July, maybe August, I think it was at this point when Trump showed up. But she said she was actually attending Sheila Jackson Lee's funeral, so that she could not attend. So she finally rescheduled, and that rescheduling took place today. So I'm going to show y'all the video. It's going to be uncut. It's about 4 minutes, give or take. I didn't cut it down because I didn't want to give you guys my synopsis of it. I wanted y'all to see it for yourself so that y'all could come up with your own take on whether she or what she said. I just put it that way. And hello to everybody in the comment section. Let me see before I give it to Mr. Sadiq. Michelle, how you doing? I read you guys' comments before I came on here. Marcus, how you doing? Thunder, how you doing? Megan, I hope you're doing well. Sky Dancer, what's going on with you? Miss Sweet, hope you're having a beautiful day. CJ, what is going on with you? Chalk Chick, hope you're having a great day. Brother Reggie, salute to you as well. Dwayne, what's up? Daryl, and by the time 103, how you doing? Long time no see. And Mars Dream Productions, how are you? CJ Love 18, what is going on? Miss White, Sheba, and John and M. Okay, I'll get the rest of y'all in just a minute. Donovan, what say you?
What I say, it is Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That means it's Demetra K time. Another great conversation coming down your way. Hey, do us a favor. There is a scrolling banner at the bottom. If you want to donate, you can do so by Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Cash Money Order, barter system, however you guys want to do it. As you guys know, it does take some time for the content creators to put up these great conversations. And we have conversations. Other people have programs and whatever else they're going in. We have conversations, and we enjoy having these conversations with you guys. So that's the way you guys can keep the content creator motivated and to contribute to the show, which would keep the show going long. We've been doing this for 8 years, and we enjoy waking the masses up, because not only are we doing it, but you guys are doing it as well, because we have the most lit chat on the internet, in my opinion. Also, please don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get that on Google Play and the Apple Store. That way you can also continue to see other great videos by Demetra K, Phil Scott, Vicki Dillard, and the host of contribution creators on the African Diaspora News Channel and what goes on around the world. I don't want to take too much time in doing a soliloquy, because I have not yet seen the interview, because I had a VA appointment today. And I'm a little excited. I haven't seen it. I don't know what was said. I know some people are saying that obviously you guys have seen it, because we have the most educated co-host on the show. But I want to, actually see and hear what Kamala is saying exactly for herself. So, I'm hoping for the best, but I'm expecting the worst, because I am the recovering Democrat. And now you guys see why I'm in recovery. Let's get to it.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to get into it. Hello, Benito. I hope you are doing well. Ruth Tracker, how you doing? Troy, Jay the Informant, how you doing? And Sister Khadijah, how are you? Your average logical thinker, Asada, nice to see you as well. All right, let's get into it, because I know y'all like, what in the world? But before we do, just like to say, If you have not registered, go get registered to vote. If you vote, that's your business. If you don't, that's your business too. But, I'm going to vote. And as I said, I am going to be voting against blue in this national election due to a whole host of reasons that we have covered. And I'm sure we will talk about today. So vote.gov is where you can go do that. That way, at least they know who read or how many people registered, how many people voted and did not vote, and where their vote went to, and all that other good stuff in between. All right, I'm gonna remove that. Okay. Now today, Kamala Harris sat down with the National Association of Black Journalists. She finally showed up to her interview that she was supposed to do a couple of months ago, and there were three people on the panel that I interviewed her. One was, Tanya Mosley. She's a co-host of Wise, and I think that's a derivative of PBS. Don't quote me, but she is on Fresh Air with Terry Gross and Tanya Mosley on. I listened to her on NPR, a really good show. And then Garen Keith Gaynor, he is a White House correspondent and a managing editor of politics at the Griot. And then there was Eugene Daniels. He is a Playbook co-author and a White House correspondent for Politico. Okay, so those are the three panelists that interviewed her. They called it a conversation. They asked her a whole host of questions from the usual stuff. The first question they asked her is, are we better off now than we were 4 years ago? Of course, she gave her same old answer, kind of ran around in circles, if you will. Y'all have to watch the whole interview. And then as my daughter and I are watching it, I kept saying, I wonder if they're going to ask her reparations. Now, I will say this. They asked her about the war in Gaza. And, she gave her usual answer. I'm 100%, going to support Israel, this, that, and the other. But we're working on a ceasefire every day. And I'm going to say this about those three Black journalists. I will admit, when I started to watch, I was like, they're going to give her softball questions. They did not. The only thing I will say, though, is because obviously it was different journalists. They didn't come out with the razor blades and lemon juice like I think her name was Rachel Scott did with Trump when he was there. They didn't do that. They were very nice and cordial. But when I tell you, they did not let Kamala just give that regular old, okay, well, this is that. Okay, are we good? They pushed back to the point of you could tell that Kamala was very irritated. And I'm going to show you guys this clip here in regards to reparations. Y'all ready? All right, here we go.
Last month, you eulogized Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. Yeah. Jackson Lee's signature bill, one of a few, was H.R. 40, which would create a commission to study the history of U.S. slavery and study the issue of reparations. She introduced H.R. 40 every session of Congress, taking up the mantle from Congressman John Conyers. This is a bill that you have co-sponsored as a U.S. Senator. Yet, this has, despite the fact that this has been, similar commissions have been created on the state level and on the local level, is yet to pass in Congress, let alone come out of committee. Congresswoman Jackson Lee, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, and other advocates have called for President Biden to take executive action to create this commission. Would you, as president, take executive action to create this commission, or do you believe that it should happen in Congress?
Well, first of all, as you mentioned, Sheila Jackson Lee, she was an extraordinary leader who we just recently lost, and she was a friend and a real champion for so many issues. So I feel compelled to say that about her. On the issue of what we need to do going forward, look, first of all, we just need to speak truth about history in spite of the fact that some people would try and erase history and try and teach our children otherwise. We need to speak truth about the generational impact of our history in terms of the generational impact of slavery, the generational impact of redlining, of Jim Crow law. I could go on and on and on. These are facts that have had impact. And we need to speak truth about it. And we need to speak truth about it in a way that is about deriving solutions. And frankly, I think that we, and part of that is studying it to figure out exactly what we need to do. But part of what we can do right now is, for example, what I'm talking about in terms of building an opportunity economy, which is addressing explicitly the obstacles that historically and currently exist, and dealing with them. Student loan debt, medical debt, bias in home appraisals, what we need to do in terms of dealing with an issue that I have championed for years, Black maternal mortality, which is the fact that Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die in connection with childbirth than other women. And we know that the reasons for that include disparities that pre-exist her pregnancy, including disparities that exist in the system during her pregnancy. So all of those things must be addressed.
But do you have a position on whether that should happen, this commission should happen through executive order or via Congress?
I think Congress ultimately will have the ability to do this work. I'm not discounting the importance of any executive action, but ultimately Congress. Because if you're going to talk about it in any substantial way, there will be hearings, there will be a level of public education and dialogue that, and I think that was part of the spirit behind the congressional action thus far, to ensure that everyone can participate in this conversation in a way that elevates knowledge about history and the reference points that have that are the impetus of this conversation. Especially again when people are trying to deny history, when people are, so-called leaders are saying that enslaved people benefited from slavery. I mean, let's talk about the delta here in terms of the work that needs to be done. It's profound.
Okay, y'all know what, y'all, it's a lot of y'all typing up in there. I'm gonna when I get done with Donovan, I'm gonna start from the bottom. So at the top, I want to say hello to everybody. There's so many comments in there. So I just kind of want to just y'all heard what she said. Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all some questions in just a minute. But I want to say when it came to the issue of Roe v. Wade, they asked her, her opinions about it. She ran in circles, and then the brother that was sitting in the middle, Eugene, he asked her. One of them asked her. They said, "So, in regards to late term abortions, is that something that you do? Like, what do we do? Are you for it, or like, basically asking her?" She did not answer the question at all. But when they asked her about abortion, they said, "Well, is that something you would do in executive order? Would you codify in law?" And guess what she said? She said, "Yes." Now, I want y'all to pay attention. When they asked her about reparations, would that be something she would use as an executive order, or would she let Congress do it? She says, "Oh, I think that's something Congress should do." So on one hand, she's got the power to do something, but on the other hand, well, I'm going to let Congress do it. But I just found also at the beginning of when she was answering the question, she had a hard time. She didn't even say the word. It's like she was resisting saying the word. She didn't. I didn't hear her say it at the beginning. Maybe she said it toward the end, but it was just I'm going to shut up. Donovan, what say you? And then I'm going to get to the comment section. I'm going to start at the bottom. So if y'all want me to see your comments, y'all go slow. Donovan?
Yeah, very disappointing. Basically, what I got there was just like Brother Reggie said, it's a continuation of her interview of 2019, 2020. No, I'm not going to be something specific for Black people. That's basically what she said. I mean, it's kind of disheartening because I was kind of hoping, because I'm a recovering Democrat. What does that mean? I pull for the Democrats, but I know it's not good for me, but I hope good things. And once again, the Democrats are showing us who they really are when it comes to Black people. Why is it that when it comes to Black people, there has to be a study? There has to be this. You're giving billions to illegals. There was no study about that. What's it going to cost us? What is the future ramifications of giving that kind of money? It's just, it's very frustrating. And for me, as a Black man, how can I sit here and continue to vote as a Democrat when they do not want to do anything for me? So she's answering the question. And like you said, it's a yes or no question. I don't know what this 15-minute monologue was about. It should have just been yes or no, because basically it comes down to this. And I want you guys to understand how civics works and how the government works. People were astounded at the video that I put out on my channel about the power of the legislative branch that can override the executive branch if they have enough votes. People forgot all about that. Notice how when she's pressured, and a lot of politicians are pressured, she's going to throw it to Congress. Remember that little student loan thing that Joe Biden said, I'm going to do? He didn't have to give it to Congress. He gave it to Congress as a delay tactic. He has the unilateral power of the pen. But see how they play this game? It's him, it's her, it's him, it's her. If you understand civics, like you guys do, you guys are smart guys, we all know what they can do. She doesn't need to go to Congress to do something that she can do by executive pen, what Congress won't do. Right now, as we're sitting here talking, what do you think Sleeping Joe is doing on that beach? And people tried to correct me about this, Demetria, which again shows me the ignorance of people who don't know civics. Oh, he can't make them citizens. It has to go through Congress or whatever. I never said he has to make them citizens. What he's doing is by giving them legal standing, it puts them on the road to citizenship because they're no longer illegal. They can now go towards citizenship. And that's what Joe Biden's doing, and he's doing it by thousands. So I want to hear what you guys got to say. But codified in law, as we know, a president can't codify anything in law. Whenever they say codified in law, that means it has to go to the Congress. It has to. It has to be voted on. So we got to understand the word salad of civics as they're doing this. But Demetria told you, the New Black Media told everybody out there, you guys have been telling your loved ones, the Democratic Party, when it comes to Black people, it has to be a study in all these delay tactics, hoping you'll go away. But you be a legal person, billions of dollars, no questions. Where are we going to house these people? Let's do a study to see what the impact of 13 million people has on the United States and what's going on. There's no study. Oh, we got to help them. Oh my God. And then here's what I didn't understand. The question was about basically reparations and what she's going to do with that, right? How does a woman's reproductive rights have to do with reparations and me feeding my family and getting the money and doing what I got to do to live? Do you guys see how she deflected and did that? Because she's trying to play on women's emotions, because that really doesn't work on men unless they're fruity men. She's playing on women's emotions. Yes, women's rights. No, that wasn't the question. What does a woman's reproductive rights have to do with the question of reparations? And last but not least, she's talking about Sheila Jackson Lee and all that other stuff, whatever the deal is. Sheila Jackson Lee's funeral was that Friday. She was supposed to be at the JBL, whatever that thing, a journalist thing, that Thursday. Don't let her fool you.
So anyway, hello to everybody. Raven, how you doing? Says we don't need no more studies. Just wipe her hands of reparations by turning it over to Congress. She's full of frog manure. Damn, frog manure. And hello to everybody else. Harley Quinn, how you doing? Long time no see. So let me go to the bottom so I can start over, because y'all, I never will catch up with the comments. And I apologize for that. So basically, hey, Mama Deb, how you doing? Daryl. Kamala ran in 2019 for 2020 to be the president, right? Of course, we know that she wasn't successful, but she is now the vice president. And most infamously, she was heard saying, I'm not going to do nothing just for Black people, no, right? And from that point, it doesn't seem like she ever addressed that, the conversation again. Although we've heard of her surrogates like Al Sharpton's and other people say, oh, well, yeah, she said she supports reparations, but it was a study, right? She was talking about that on the Breakfast Club and back then, but we didn't hear anybody else, which is why I say shout out to them. I think they would have been remiss as a Black journalist club, right? To not ask her that question about reparations. And I saw somebody said they didn't push back. I think they pushed back enough because she was irritated. If y'all watched the whole interview, she was really irritated. Like when they answered questions and they tried to, cut her off to get her to answer questions like, let me finish. But I'm not finished. So she was kind of PO'd that they did push back. So I'm going to say big up to them. I think they did an excellent job. I think it, they did what journalists should do. They removed the, they might be in the camp for Kamala, but they did not allow that to come out during that interview. But nevertheless, she tried her best, I guess, to answer the question, which she did. As I see a lot of y'all say, there was a lot of word salad going on, and that was most of her interview with word salad in regards to, they asked her about Black men. And I took a lot of notes, right? So when they asked her about Black men, let's see exactly where to go. I have to write it down because my handwriting is terrible. Okay. So one of the journalists asked her, Black men, he basically said they want to vote for Trump, and because they feel like they're not being heard. That's basically what they're saying. And they asked her, basically, what do you think about that, and what are you gonna do? Basically make them feel heard. It was another word salad. She says, and my daughter caught it. She's like, oh, okay, now she's really turning it on. She says, don't assume that Black men are in anyone's pocket. That's what she said. She says their vote must be earned. And then she says, this is her word, she's going to be the president for all people. Okay. And then she talked about tax credit for business owners, but nothing. I'm telling y'all this. She did not answer really any of the questions that they asked her, like specific answers to the question. She ran all around here and there. But when it came to, what's going on in Gaza, she was clear, except for when they pushed back. They was like, okay, but what is your policy? What are you going to do to garner a ceasefire? Like, what do you do? She goes, well, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to give you guys a detailed. She said, I'm not going to give detailed plans of what we're doing. Just know that we got to get a ceasefire first, right? And then another one asked her, I think maybe the same one, says, okay, so do you see a two-state solution? I'm paraphrasing at the point, a two-state solution where, basically they'll be able to get along and the Palestinians will be able to continue doing what they're doing. And it was like watching a bumblebee, just. And when they kept pushing back, I recorded. I wish I would have put it up. But y'all want y'all to check out the end of the interview when she walked off the stage. She shook her hand, she turned, and she was like, when she walked off, like, these how dare them ask me these questions, I guess maybe she assumed she was going to go, and they were, They asked her about Joy. It said, what do you think about Trump and the Republicans weaponizing your joy? And, she's like, don't ever let nobody take your joy from you. And all that other stuff. But yeah, I think they did a really good job. But this is what I also think. I think those journalists are going to get some backlash from her supporters for going hard in the paint on her. But I don't think they went hard in the paint. I think they did their job. And like I say, kudos to them.
No, what I think is going to happen is they're going to end up on that watch list, just like Tulsi Gabbard did when it just
I mean, what does she expect for them to do? I know, all the other interviews she's had, they've been playing footsies with her under the table. And I mean, but come on now. And Donovan, let me know if you see some questions in there. Hello, Alonzo, Kelly, Bobby, the Year of the Sailor, Goon, and everybody else. I really wish I could get to all the comments. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. So, she had all these interviews and stuff, with the other networks and stuff. And I guess they were really, as we could tell, they didn't really push nothing. But yeah, I don't know. I think she probably is going to rethink having more interviews because I don't know.
Well, see, that's the bad thing. Whoever is advising her, everybody that's worked with her said it's a nightmare to work with this woman. She has a turnover rate that is unbelievable when it comes to people that work with her. But if they knew just the basics, Dimitri, even you say it, the more you do something, like, okay, the most scariest thing in the world to a lot of people is public speaking. That's the worst thing. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you become with it. That was one of the stupidest things, was to stop her from doing interviews, even the littlest interview, so she can get comfortable and warm up to it. So again, if you're going to pay these idiots to advise you to do that and have a bunker type campaign, which Biden did because of the C-19 situation, you can't do that now because everybody's out of the bunker. So that was a big mistake for her to do that, because she is terrified, obviously. And again, like I said, to be asked that, she is just like, oh my God, I don't believe you got, everybody loves me. And this goes to show you, ladies and guys out there, yes, you're cute and stuff when you were 30 years old and you got it going on. You could probably get away with a little, showing a little hem of your skirt up, a little knee, and maybe a little cleavage. That's cute when you're younger and you kind of are still kind of got it going on. But when you're 60 years old and want to be taken seriously, that ain't going to help you much.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say too. Like you said too, she wants to be the president of the United States, and when it comes down to and hello Eunice and everybody else, when it comes down to answering questions, I just got the impression that she was mad. And she was mad, and I'm like, they talk about Trump, which we know Trump is a doozy. I'm not saying he's not, but she was like, let me finish. Let me answer the question, because some of these questions was just like on and on and on and on, the answers rather, on and on and on. And I think they were really gracious in not cutting her off, but I'd have cut her off a long time ago, because she was just repeating. It's almost like she had the same answer for different questions. She prefaced it differently, but then it went back to the child tax credit and the mortality rate for pregnant women, and all this other stuff. And they asked her, oh, this is where it really got testy. They asked her, they said, well, we understand that you're a gun owner. She says, yes, I'm a gun owner. And I guess the lady, was more or less like, okay, and it's maybe kind of a contradiction, but because you guys are saying that you want to, gun control laws and things like that. And so then Kamala starts talking about AK-47s and automatic, semi-automatic weapons and things like that. And the journalist was like, I didn't ask you about that. I asked you about handguns. Well, we need to get these measures in place and this, that, and the other. And then we need to crack down on the gun shows and blah, blah, blah. And the lady was like, but a lot of these guns in question aren't coming from the gun shows. They're coming from like the street and stuff. And she would not answer the question. It was just like she had canned answers for everything. And that's when she really got mad, because the sister was like, that ain't what I asked you. And even my daughter, she was like, she don't know how to answer. We got a new name for her. Gaslighter in chief. Because that heifer is a gaslighter. She didn't want them to really, follow up and, cut her. It was just a lot. Y'all can find it on YouTube. It's you can put in NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists interviewing Kamala, something like that. It'll come up. It's all over. But yeah, I watched it in real time. I don't think it did Kamala any favors at all. Of course, they asked her about, Trump and the Ohio thing, and listen, I'm like Donovan. I'm looking for a reason to vote for her. Okay. I know she won't give me one. We should be looking for a reason to vote for anybody. But all the things that I've seen, she hasn't given me a reason to do that. Nothing at all. This, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far, I kind of already knew this, but I thought maybe in 4 years she would, become somebody else. She's not. She's not ready. And my thing is, because we saw her with Lester Holt when he asked her about going to the southern border. She says, well, I haven't been to Europe either. That's kind of the attitude she had with her today. Like, it's almost like,
girl, what?
Like, how dare you? Now, I don't want to say clearly, but there were some men up there who seemed like they could be from the LGBT community. And she tried to pander to them a little bit too. Y'all have to check out the interview. It was wait. Did
she do an Angela Rye? Are you going to let this black woman attack me? Did she ask the black men that?
Nah, because those brothers was not there for her foolishness. Okay, They weren't there for the foolishness at all. They did their job. So anyway, I'm gonna get in the comment section. I'm gonna start at the bottom. Hello, 30 times over to everybody that's come on here. Bill, he says, laugh out loud. Oh, where'd he go? Y'all typing. He says, why are you looking for anything? Why are we looking for anything? Well, we looking for something because they looking for something for us. When you go to the store and go in there and buy some bread, and they say, I'm sorry, Mr. Bill, we ain't got no bread, but listen, leave your money. What are you gonna say? Are you gonna leave your money? Are you going to say hell to the no? If you ain't got no bread, you ain't getting my bread. You know what I mean? It's transactional. That's how that should work. So that's why we are looking for something from Kamala and the Democrats, because they always get something from us, but we never get anything from them, and they give it to everybody else. Just think about the Haitian community there in Ohio, and I think it's horrible what they're going through. I'm not excusing any of that at all. But now, they having all these marches and all these, and she said too, they asked her about, Trump being the second assassination attempt. What do you think about it? Sounds like she called him and, basically had a little small conversation with him. But she says, so then they asked her, well, do you feel safe? She says, yes, I feel safe. But what about the people, the immigrants in Ohio? And what about these people? What about the Alcesti? Come on now. You know what I mean? But yeah. Everybody else is getting something but us. That's why we're looking for something. Otherwise, she ain't going to get our vote. It's just that simple. All right. So who else? Mr. South Carolina Brad Gullah accent, how you doing? Says, I doubt if Kamala Harris knows anything about the military. I don't know. Abdul Sharif, how you doing? Says, I have absolutely no reason to vote for Kamala Harris. Right. You better say her name right.
Yeah. Well, Kamala did date Montel Williams, who was a former Marine. So.
You know what? Wesley, I said that. He says that she doesn't like being challenged. No, she made that very, very, very apparent that she's
probably one of those military-like chicks with Doug. In, out, tissue.
Kurt L. Hyde, the Civil Liberty Act of 1988 signed into law by President Ronald Reagan. This act provided $20,000 in tax-free reparations to each surviving Japanese American who was interned during the war. Yeah, and the Obama administration did reparations for Jews. Yeah, so.
Was there a study, by the way? Was there a study?
No, I don't think they did. I think they just went right to it.
Only for Black people. We have to study it, delay it as long as possible, get enough illegal people in here to wash their voices out. Then we don't have to worry about reparations. That's the game plan.
Yeah. Hey, bro, good. Joyce, how you doing? Bakari, how you doing? All right, tell the truth and shame the devil. You say she phony as a $3 bill. Yeah, that I don't know. She might need to go back to the drawing board. Yes, April, no tangibles, no vote. Let's see. Ragnar says being cute has faded and her intellect is not enough to move her forward. Yeah, she gonna have to really come with it. Those journalists, they did their job. Third grade gamer, how you doing? Says correct. Blizz 73, how you doing? Says, did y'all see? Yes, the Jill Stein interview on the Breakfast Club. Angela Rye was a complete a-hole interview. Yeah, and she's been dragged all over the internet for it too. FM, how you doing? Says, my vote is for sale. The price is reparation, anti-Black hate crime bill, and then some, right? Samuel C, how you doing? Who else came on here? Bobby Harris, how you doing? Says, funny, we're not the backbone. He says, funny, we're not the backbone if the party after just 4 years. I'm not sure what that means, but anyway, how you doing? Pixie Glam, how you doing? Conscious Ether, what's going on with you? Thank you. 48 says, are they marching to save the pets or not? Yeah, for the most part. Savvy Me, how you doing? Charlene, how you doing? Says, I heard some gay men speak and not all of for Kamala Harris. They're Trump supporters. Yeah, there's no absolutes with anything. With the people, they're saying, oh, yeah, they're going to vote for Kamala. Not everybody. Even a lot of Black women are like, nah, I ain't going to do that. CJ says, I love Brother Phil's video on that yesterday. Yes, he talked about that. Yeah, and Phil is, keeping it real. Keeping it real with Phil. That's a good name, huh? Keeping it real with Phil. Every night at 7 p.m. Central Time, he is breaking it down. And as he says, class is in session. So he really does a great job of informing people about what's going on, especially now in regards to politics. Amy, how you doing? Says this election is going to surprise us all. Kamala is close in the polls in the states. That is unexpected. Never underestimate Kamala. I'm just saying everyone she ran against underestimated her. I mean, I always say it's a 50-50 chance she may win. I'm not saying she's not going to win. We'll see.
Wait. I'm going to push back on that. Everybody she ran against in a state of California that's super Democrat, she won. Of course not. Wait a minute. She's running for president now, and she did not get one vote. She didn't get one vote. So why wouldn't we I'm not saying what you're saying is not right, but why wouldn't we underestimate a candidate that was selected and nobody voted for? She was listed as the worst Democratic candidate to go up against Donald Trump. I'm just saying.
Miss B Real, how you doing? It says why isn't anyone talking about Javion McGee, the young boy that was hung? So we are talking about Javion McGee in other spaces. I've seen some other stuff unfold. Basically, I believe he was in North Carolina as a truck driver, 21 years old, that was found hung in a tree in North Carolina. And I guess they ruled it a suicide, but his family is like, nah, that's not something he would do. Now, I did see some footage of him purchasing a rope at Walmart. So they have the surveillance, they showed it. That doesn't mean anything. He might have been buying a rope for himself. Maybe he got into something with somebody and they found a rope, and so that doesn't mean he did that to himself. Yes, I personally am following it. I'm trying to get all the details that I can. I'm following it as close as I can, but I'm one of those people I'm not one of those people to believe rather that, I know people do, but if you listen to his family, it's like, nah, he had no reason absolutely to do that to himself. Doing all right as a truck driver, young guy, they said he was full of life. That's not a characteristic. They didn't see any signs. Not that that's indicative of people not doing something to themselves, but they're like, nah, we're going to need some more, an investigation as to what really happened to him.
Right. And I just want to add this, and I'm glad you brought that topic up, but here's the thing, and we try to tell people, we can't cover every topic. So sometimes we try to tell people, if that's a topic you want to cover, start your own channel and put that news out there. We got to stop relying on a certain channel to cover things, and then we get upset with that channel, whatever, to cover those things. You can cover those things yourself and bring awareness to it. That's what we do on certain topics. Now, the presidency that's coming up for this situation, with those borders super open, do you think a Kamala Harris presidency will stop that? I don't think so. And if this woman gets elected, and she has a 50-50 chance of getting elected, here nor there. No matter what happens, I'll be in the DR or wherever I'm at, enjoying my life. But the point is, that's going to be curtains for Black people. This woman is a significant threat. And as you heard her say, the Democratic Party, she's right now technically the head of the Democratic Party, is a significant threat to Black people as we know it today. So we strongly encourage people who have knowledges of other subjects to please, start your channel and get that news out. And I'm going to say this. Go to YouTube channels, Your Average Logical Thinker. She talks about a certain subject when it comes to relationships and a different way of think. And I caught Miss Sweet Talk this morning talking about a certain subject that was doing that. So we encourage our followers to stop not necessarily relying on us. We can't cover everything you would like us to cover, but you can cover that yourself. We're in the technological age.
Yes, indeed. And she did say that she was Black during the interview. It was kind of during the conversation. So she did acknowledge that she was Black. I think she said like Black like me or something like that. Alonzo says, Kamala acknowledged every bit of suffering that our community has endured, always, never has any suggestions other than some lift all policy. Yeah, that's basically what she came with. I mean, it was just, I don't know. I think she tried. I think she went in there thinking, oh, these is my peeps, right? This is my peeps. They going to take it easy on me and all that other stuff. And I'd say they did the job. Red Rock, how you doing? Says Tucker Carlson was speaking on race replacement and everyone thought it was a joke and it sounded laughable 3 years ago. Now it's reality for a lot of Americans, especially the Blacks. Okay, for the Blacks. Yes, indeed. Leslie, how you doing? You say, Dimitri and Donovan, can I share the name of a channel for you to see the last video he posted? He explains exactly how they get those people in here and why. ask first to be respectful on your platform. Yeah, sure. I can't click on it here, but maybe everyone else can. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Versace, thank you. He says he actually wasn't found hanging, but sitting on a base of a tree. Yes, with the rope around his neck. And he's a trucker. They use rope for certain things. RP. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That rope doesn't mean that he was going to do that to himself. But, you know, I guess we'll find out sooner or later, hopefully. TNT, how you doing? Says, I'll take someone that's willing to push for us and say so over someone who comes with mealy mouth nonsense and a track record of being against us. Absolutely. Polo Styles, how you doing? You say, they said truck drivers buy rope, tie up their back doors for their truck. Yeah, that's not unusual for a trucker to do, right? So, yeah, I don't mean he did that. Who else came on here? Gwen, how you doing? Says Pamela was drunk on that interview. He said, oh, I think he meant Kamala was drunk on the interview that she said she had today. Ain't nothing said makes sense. You know what's so weird? I was like, what's wrong with this woman? It did seem kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie, you know, but I don't want to say she was because I don't know if she was.
Maybe she was on a sedative. Who knows?
It was just weird. She was, you know, I think in order to be the president of the United States, I think you have to have a good temperament, if that's a thing. You know, I don't think you should be, you know, letting people that know that they annoyed you. They ask you something you don't like. It's almost, I don't know. I just get how dare you?
Well, I'm kind of glad you brought that up because when Donald Trump was at this journalist meeting and they were attacking him, and like I said, and he's a doozy. Don't get me wrong, he's a dirtbag in my opinion. But the way he handled it, his temperament, is how you want your leaders to be able to handle adverse questions and things. So you know, you got to look at the whole package, not just the sister girl thing.
Hey, Davis, how you doing? Say, isn't Henderson, North Carolina, a sundown town? It might be. Hell, all of the United States is a sundown town. You know, I saw online somebody made a post talking about all the sundown towns in America, and it was a lot. I'm like, damn, that's the whole map. You know, so honestly, right? And the sad part about being in like for real sundown towns, a lot of people just don't know until they have to know, right? Like, oh, I ain't supposed to be here after sundown. Okay, well, you know what? My watch is broke. Give me a minute.
Yeah, do not venture too far off that interstate. Get your gas and go.
Yeah, you know, you have to. It's sad. Even in 2024, you got to figure out if you're in that sundown town or not. Joseph Parker, how you doing? He says she did say she supports it, or no, she did. She said she'd be into a study, but then that should be on Congress. She said that she would not sign an executive order for reparations. So nah, it was more. I'm. If you ask me, I think she was probably pretty peed off that they asked that, and I think she didn't know of the questions they were going to ask her, because I think she would have came with a better answer if she did know.
And can I get you guys to think about this? Notice during the debates, look at the difference between the debate questions and how she was poised and doing that at the debate, and then look at her at this intimate interview with these journalists. Do you guys see the difference? So I'm not saying she was given, I don't have any evidence she was giving the answers ahead of time, but do you see the difference when she doesn't really know what's coming at her and how her demeanor is versus it seems like she already knew what was going on?
Yeah, I don't think she knew. Lady Blue, how you doing? Says I heard some Jamaican people talking about how Black America needs to wake up. They still have a slavery mindset when it comes to voting for Kamala and everything else. But yet they're here. Yeah, you know. One thing about them, Vinny, my truth, how you doing? They find out the hard way over here. You know, they think they're gonna come over here and be thumbing their nose at Black Americans until they need Black Americans. It's like, nah, what happened to you thumbing your nose at everybody, thinking you was better than that, right? Mission Vision, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Kathy, what's going on with you? Says it's a new time and day, a new day. They need to get off the horse manure. Okay, yep, I agree with that. Whoever they is in the mixed radio says Trump and Kamala are both horrible choices. Yeah, but you know, if you leave it to them, you gotta pick one. You need to pick one or the other. So what do you do, right? I mean, you can write people in or vote for the other candidates. Jill Stein, I think Cornel West is still on some ballots, but yeah. Anyway, let's see here.
Al
Saturday.
Jackson just sent me a meme that was funny as hell. So I don't know if he sent it to you, but you'll find out.
Let's see here. The podcast with Todd and Tasha. How you doing? He says, hi, Demetri and Donovan. I just love how professional you guys are. And you should have 100,000 subs already. Love your show. And Demetri, you have a beautiful soul. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know what? We are grateful for the ones that we have. As we said the other day, we got it the hard way with no antics. It's been some hijinks and foolishness, but it's a learning curve, but nothing never on purpose, right? Because we believe in giving people what they need, and that's the truth as we know it. Not saying we always right, but thank you. Diamond Girl, how you doing? Says she's weak. That's kind of what I took from it. Just Donovan and I have covered Kamala extensively, especially when she started to run in 2020. We was on it. So none of this is new to us. We're like, she is who we thought she was. Nothing's changed. Timothy Hudson, how you doing? Says keep your pew pew. Okay, Shaniqua, how you doing? Says Kamala keeps saying when I become president, I pledge to change things like the economy and other things. But why can't she change it now since she's vice president? Why wait to become president when you're in a position to do it now as vice president? That's what I said to y'all. Got to listen very carefully because on one hand, she and her surrogate say, well, she's just the vice president. She can't do anything. That's not her job. But then they'll tell you, oh, she did this, she did that, she broke a tie, she helps get this legislation, and she kneeled with kente cloths on with the with the rest of Congress. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she can't do nothing, but then she could do something. So what are we doing? So I agree with you. Why Joe Biden would listen. I mean this in the most sincere way. I'm not trying to be funny, maybe just a little bit. Joe Biden would know. At this point in the game, Kamala could say, hey, Joe, how you doing? I'm just over here to tell you to sign this, that, and the other. Can you do it before you leave? Sure, Kamala. He wouldn't even know what he's signing at this point. So I don't even know what. It's not like he's going to tell her no. I don't think he would.
Remember during 9/11, the Tom Ridge, who was the Homeland Security director, and he was in the hospital, and they wanted him to sign off on something that had to do with the Patriot Act or something, restricting people's rights. And he was in the hospital, and they tried to get the man to sign it. And it was like, the guy was basically not in his right mind, but they brought him a document to do some crazy stuff.
That's all she got to do. That's all she got to do. Just next. He said yes, guys. He said yes. Hey, Walt, how you doing? I'm not going to start laughing today because it becomes a hot mess. All right, who else came on here? Y'all are going in. JB1, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. It says Henderson is 63% Black. It's a lot of Black people in Henderson, North Carolina. Raven says Kamami has an attitude. Black people can't question her like her don't stink. Yeah, that's I'm telling y'all, when y'all watch it, y'all like, damn, why she mad? Poppy Gold, how you doing? Says, bruh, she's sorority sisters with the moderator Lindsay and the co-chair of Disney ABC News, who has introduced her to her husband. Of course, she was fed the question. I don't know. That's the word on the street is. I just try not to further things I don't have any personal knowledge of, but if that's what happened, it'll come out. The Open Bill podcast. How you doing? It says Henderson, North Carolina. A lot of Black people live there. So yeah, what's going on? Gaudy B, how you doing? Let's see who else. OG Patrice, what's going on with you? Reynard, how you doing? Don't need no man. Stop telling me I do. How you doing? Judge says all of them don't do nothing but lie. What you expect? Okay. Reality with GP, how are you doing? Says I would love to cover politics on my channel, but I don't think it would be a good topic for me. I say that because I go into condensed deep dives, and my perspective on politics might ruffle some feathers. Ruffling feathers every now and again ain't bad. Just don't get yourself banned.
Right, and you'll be surprised. You talk about the internet. 8 billion people on the planet. The chances of you and nobody listening to you is almost zero. So why not give it a shot? Somebody's going to listen. Trust me.
Yeah, Sergio, how you doing? It says, we got Republicans sundown and Democrats playing games with us. I'm still going to vote in my local election, but the president's choice are both very scary. Yeah, you got to vote in your local election. Oh, you know what? I don't know if y'all know. I just found this out yesterday. I was reading the news. I'm pixelating. I don't know why I'm pixelating. But here in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott signed into law that porn companies have to ask age identifying questions of people before they are able to go in there and do what they do. So upon understand, Pornhub was like, yeah, we're out of here. If you live in Texas, you can't come on here. But I'm like, what the hell? Listen, I'm not a connoisseur of porn. I'm not knocking anybody who does it. That's your business. That's your nasty business. But whatever, right? But what I am a champion for of people being able to do what they want to do with if it's legal, and without all of that. See, that's just a little bit too much going on to be in people's business. Of course, the pushback is, well, how do we know who's not going to get a hold of this information and all this other stuff? Because usually people are watching porn and don't want nobody to know they're doing it. So I say all that to say, yeah, the state and local elections are important. They'll vote those type of people out that want to just be ruling over people too much. You know, that's absolutely crazy. Mind your business. Because you know what, Donovan, the other thing too is them people that be making them laws be the main ones being prosecuted by them.
Exactly. And again, the connection between that journalist asking the question on reparations and the Black people across the nation. If you have been paying attention at what happened here in California with the reparations bill, I want you guys to take what happened in California where we had the vote, even if Gavin Newsom did do a veto. We're a supermajority Democratic state. There is no excuse why Blacks could not get reparations here in California, and quantify that with what Kamala just said. I would say that is Democratic policy to give Black people nothing. Do you guys realize? I want you guys to think about this. We are no farther along in regards to our wealth in this country than after the Civil War. I want you guys to think about that. Very scary. We have not progressed because they have taken our wealth over the years, and they're continuing to do so. And now they're basically saying, here's a woman that is Black, and she used that as an adjective. She's describing something incidental about her. She didn't actually say she's like a sister girl. She said, well, I'm, whatever the deal was. But another identified Black person, Obama, now her, outright told you, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. And you guys are going to give her your vote? Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, with this interview, I didn't hear anything different from her at all. I was like, ooh, they going to tear her up. They going to rip her a whole new one. Like I said, I'm one of those people, if you don't know the answer, just say, you know what? Let me get back to you on that. Because I don't expect for the president, I don't care who it is, her, whatever, I don't expect for them to know everything. But if you don't know anything, you just say that. You ain't got to get all annoyed. She tried. She was like, wait a minute, let me finish. And they, so like I said, I think they did a great job in trying to, hold her to answer the question, which she just was not going to do. She was trying to rest on pretty. Mama Debbie says Kamala only mentioned Maxine Waters' name and had a snarl on her face while doing it. Talking about during the interview, yeah, Sheila Jackson Lee as well. Gwen, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right, I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of this, which I know it is bottomless. Non-netters, how you doing? He says, we don't need to study anything. It is all well documented. More word salad. She's well aware of the impact of oppression and disparities, and yet she will do nothing to specifically address it. Nope, y'all heard her say, FME crazy, talking about all of a sudden she turned Black. Yeah, she said she was Black. But of course, how you doing? Says she agreed. Let's see here. Lady Diana, he says, voting no more Dems in my state of Washington. Got you, Donovan. And what California did. Yeah, let's not forget that. California legislators there shanked black people in the back by not taking the reparations vote to the floor at all, because they was trying to look out for Big Daddy Gavin Newsom there, that's blocking for him. And they got caught. Tara Toy, how you doing? Says cash reparations for Black American descendants of slaves now. Yes. Byron, how you doing? He said, that's right, never forget. All right, let me skip on down. Oh, so many of y'all on here, and I thank you all so much for being here. Christ has come. How you doing? Says peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to you as well. Opinionated Reality, how you doing? Says address the 90% voting for Dems no matter what. Well, Kamala only has about 77, maybe 80% of the black vote now. She gonna need more than that if she's gonna win.
That is not enough. She needs more than that.
Yep.
And speaking of the California thing, Demetra, I want you to let the listeners know that Donovan has been doing his job in regarding Corey Jackson and giving him the business. I had to share with Demetra, and whenever people are out of pocket, I let Demetra be the adult in the room. And I was giving this person that said, Corey Jackson is the most progressive person and a great dude living with this and a friend of mine, right? And I started giving this guy the facts, and I was just raw with it and letting him know this is the deal. This is what happened. It's, whatever. This guy got in his feelings, telling me I'm homophobic, when all I basically said was Corey Jackson does for illegals and gays and such and so on. All of a sudden, I'm homophobic because I used the word gay. What am I supposed to use?
Well, you said it to something else too. You said you was on his shirt.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course. But how can you say this man's the most progressive and he turned his back on his own people? I don't care what your sexuality is. I have yet to see a Hispanic sit there with the bill that's going to benefit them, like these illegal bills, and they don't vote for it. I've never seen an Asian do it. Only in the black community have I seen our people just knife us in the back, and we're just supposed to sit there and just be like, it's okay, we'll get him next time. We tried. No, I'm outraged because, and this is what's sad, if California passed that bill, okay, 60 million, there are more homeless black people in California, in the state. That would have helped a lot of those people. And that became law into California, and they could have made it law by bringing it to the floor and voting on it. Gavin Newsom vetoes it, and then they override his veto. That would have been a blueprint for the other states. So when you're not from California, I don't give a damn what happened to California. That's stupid because you could use that as a precedent of what could be done in your state. So unfortunately, the guy got in his feelings. He messaged me. We talked about it real quick. And Demetra just said, as the adult in the room, ask Corey. Go ask him. That's all she said. Go ask him. Why did he do what he did?
Yeah, because he said, that's a good friend of mine. All right, great. Go ask him what happened if you don't believe us, because he didn't believe that Corey Jackson did that. And I was like, well, go ask him. I don't know if he did or not. Hopefully he'll get back to you if he did. But Brando, how you doing? He says, what's crazy is when Trump told the NABJ about opportunity zones and HBCU funding, there was zero follow-up, no request for him to elaborate, just kept arguing with him over, she said. I think they did do some follow-up questions with him. And they did follow-up questions with him on ABC. But you know what the difference was between this interview and Trump's interview? Is that they were respectful out the gate with Kamala. With Trump, I think her name was Rachel Scott, if I'm not mistaken. So, former President Donald Trump, you've been mean to black women. You said this to black people. You've done that to black, this, that, and the other. And you said this, you did this. So why should black people vote for you? And he says, whoa, and I'm paraphrasing, that was very rude. That was one of the most horrible questions I've ever been asked. So it was the tone, I think, that set the interview. And throughout that interview, Trump was reminding her, okay, yeah, you all right. Oh, I like you. Yeah, Harris, I know you, but that was awful. But you see what I'm saying? And I wondered, I was like, are they gonna come out with that razor blades and lemon juice with Kamala? And they did not, which I don't think they should have. But you invite this man on there and you got real funky with him, and then he gave you what you didn't want back. So I think that was a difference, but I think they did follow-up questions with him as well. I mean, that's how we got the black jobs, or she ain't black. That's how we got all that stuff trending. So, when I say we, I mean y'all. Anyway, Sonny, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Brother Reggie says Harris from Fox News. She actually is a good journalist and interviewer. Yeah, she's been on Fox News. Harris Faulkner. She's been on Fox News for a long time.
Yeah, she just left. Left.
For a long. Yeah, she was there for a minute. Her and the other sister, when they interviewed Trump at the NABJ, they were very nice and cordial with that one, sister. You know what it reminded me of? It was, like I said, I talked about this Sunday, Angela Rye. I think they all got a funky attitude playbook, acting snooty with people just for whatever reason. I don't know. There's quite a few of them that have that attitude. Like, what did you think was going to happen? You talking to that man like that? You thought he was a punk? As long as Trump been around, he ain't never shown nobody that he was a punk. You know what I mean? And whether you agree with somebody or disagree, the way she came at that man was horrible. I know what I was going to say. Guess who wasn't on the stage today interviewing? Roland.
Roland wasn't on the stage? What do you mean? Give me the money.
Be nice. Nah, he wasn't on the stage. Now, I don't know if y'all remember when he was, when Trump was there, he was the one that was hot. Wait a minute. As the other journalist there said to Roland when he got into it with Roland, he says, who are you? You were screaming. You were screaming from the audience. You were screaming. Why weren't you out there? And then Roland told him, I have you put out of here. I'm a member of here. Are you a member of here? No, he was calling, putting his chest out, trying to call rank on the white reporter. The white reporter's like, I ain't no punk either. Since you so big and bad, homie Loke, why you ain't up on the stage asking the questions? But guess what? He wasn't up there today either. What's really going on? Since you're just astute member of that.
Right, and all these people and you got all these connections. Why can't Roland seem to be getting an interview with the vice president? She's a sororo. He's in the fraternity.
Well, it's and I was having this conversation with Brother Phil earlier, and he actually asked the question, what is it? Why isn't he allowed to interview her? I mean, as I said, and a lot of other people said too, he's one of her biggest supporters. He goes hard in the paint for Kamala, and it seemed like he can't get nowhere near to ask her a question like, even, how are you doing today? You like grandma cookies, Kamala. Just what kind of seasoning you put in your green? Because our show is hungry.
Right. Kamala, can you twerk? We saw you in the 90s with all them Willie Brown. Can you twerk?
I got an even better one for you. I know how to do the wobble. I teach you. I sure will teach you how to do the wobble. You seen me teaching Miss Hillary, didn't you? I'm just saying that he can't, I don't know. You know what though? I'm hoping that he does get an interview with Kamala. I really do. I hope that for him, because listen, all jokes aside about Roland Martin, I think Roland Martin is one of the greatest to ever do it as far as Black journalism. However, Roland got off track somewhere. Roland got off track, and I think he really forgot the mission of really helping Black people. That's what I think. So I would like to see him interview him because I think he's a good interviewer, but I also want to see him interview her because I want to see if he gonna tap into his real journalistic skills and not, give her that love tap of, how you doing? Is it salt or pepper or salt and pepper in your greens? You know what I'm saying? I really would love to see a Roland Martin interview with Kamala Harris. I would not. She don't give him one. I think that speaks volumes about a whole lot of stuff. Does she not like him? She mad at him? Or the other thing is she could be afraid that he's gonna not take it easy on her. Because I don't know. And that would be interesting for me. We'll see. So let's see here. I'm gonna get down to the bottom. Derek, how you doing? And everybody else that's come on here. So many of y'all. I really do love and appreciate every last one of y'all. You guys are the bomb. Wazuri, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says, forget the party that forgot us. Vote for your interest. Should vote for anyone else on the presidential vote. Probably write my own name in the vote. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. You really can. Oh, you crazy. Brandon said he gonna give her the Tiffany Henry interview. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, so you know what? You own to something. Yeah, that one was, let's be cute together. And then when people start getting on the comment section, then he wanted to kind of do his job, but it's like, come on, man. You know that woman is running rough shot through Dalton out there, and you just letting her. Hey, Terry, how you doing? Since so many of the Democratic Party thought the ish show of 2020 was going to create fear of them, the nonsense made Dems believe they're right, when in fact, most are simply crazy and lack accountability. Yeah, I think that's politicians in general. CR, how you doing? It says billions for foreign wars and illegal immigration, and y'all letting them convince you ADOS asking for too much, right? Yeah, I didn't listen. No argument meant for me there. Oh gosh, there's so many of y'all. And Nubian King, how you doing? It says I ain't gonna say that, but how you doing? Donovan, any parting words? Power to the people. How you doing? It says Roland does not have a big audience outside of his frat. Yeah, I don't know. I think he has enough people watching him. But I don't know. I just think I think it's a commentary. I don't know. Maybe he is going to interview her. That he has not interviewed her, and all the men that they had up there, I think those fellows did a great job. But I'm surprised. Hey, Facts Not Feelings, I'm surprised they didn't have him up there. So Donovan, what you got on the way out?
Yeah, on the way out, I'm going to say this. Another key mistake by not having Roland interview him, because he does have a following, and she could have, really been in a better position then versus where she's at now. It's like she's on her back heels trying to do a rope-a-dope that ain't working. It's just not working in the analogy of boxing. She's on the ropes. She's not rope-a-doping, because she's in a very bad position because of how it looks that she does not do interviews. Roland would have probably really helped her with the civil rights and the older generation to lock that thing in, because some of those people are leaving. But I do want to say this as we get out of here. You guys, the absentee ballots are going out soon. So we know how you guys already know how you're going to vote and all that other stuff. The other side, be it Republican, be it Democrat, they know how they're going to vote. It's a waste of time to debate somebody whose mind is already made up at this junction of the game. That's why I say all my friends that keep asking me, stupid questions. I'm like, you got it. If you don't want to Google it, you got it. The people you need to talk to are those people that are sitting on the fence. And I'm telling you, the people that are sitting on the fence, be it their third party, whatever they're doing, the swing voters, they are looking at this woman. Like I said, I'm a recovering Democrat, you guys. Trust me. I'm looking for a reason to say something positive about what this woman will bring to the United States, and I haven't seen it yet. These absentee ballots are going out. The election is close, and those are the people you need to talk to. And I can almost tell you most of these people, they're not going to vote for Kamala. Most of them, because there is no substance in anything that she has said. And then now with this one where she's confirming she's not going to vote for reparations, I think she's basically sealed her fate.
Brother Reddy said, stop looking down at her. She ain't got anything good about her. Yeah, and to that, so just in closing, the DT, how you doing? S Edgy, how you doing? I think the purpose of the interviews and all of that is to convince people who are not convinced. You know, of course, there's people who are like, I'm voting for her no matter what. I'm voting for Trump no matter what. But they're trying to convince those people in the middle to come on over, you know. And was it you, Brother Reggie? Somebody said that Roland may be mad about the interview that she gave Ricky. Yeah, why did you know why she gave Ricky that interview? Because I think he's secretly in love with her. And I think she knew that because he didn't really ask her too many questions. She just came on with the same old this, that, blah, 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 blah. Okay, thank you. See you later. You know, hey, Herschel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So, yeah, that's a good point that she gave it to Ricky. When I say it, I mean the interview. Gave Ricky the interview, but not Roland. Yeah. Darnell Lewis, how you doing? So anyway, we're going to get out of here. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. I saw somebody say, where's Walter Wednesday? I don't know. I don't know where Walter is today, Monday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll call
Walter is chasing that bag because when money is on his mind and his mind is on his money, that is Walter 100.
Yeah, but see, a lot of y'all saying you're stuck in the middle. Yes, indeed. So anyway, one who cares, thank you so much for moderating and telling everybody to get the likes up. And Brother Reggie and everybody else, Miss Sweets, Average Logical Thinker, Brother Don, Buckhorse, everybody, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.